Tuna wageni watatu, Mheshimiwa Sebastian Kapufi mbunge, ambao ni wadau wa maendeleo kutoka Marekani. Wadau wa maendeleo kutoka Marekani, karibuni sana.
Are you tired of fighting with your wife or with your husband? Have you each retreated into your separate corners, not even trying to speak to each other anymore? Are your children witnessing a toxic marriage rather than a purposeful partnership? Hi, I am Shar, and I am an attorney mediator and experienced in helping families for the past 13 years navigate really challenging times. And I am here to help you. Husbands, hear your wives. Wives, hear your husbands. So together we can find the truth why your family is struggling and what it will take to get unstuck from cycles of misunderstanding and patterns of frustration. Join me live on YouTube on this Monday night at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern as I conduct a live mediation. And if you would like to be heard, if you would like to hash out a misunderstanding with your spouse here on our live, sign up now to apply for your free opportunity to mediate. And I look forward to seeing you Monday night.
Shalom, Salama, Siemi, Shalom. Greetings to all my Israelite brothers and sisters from around the world, whether you're the bloodline of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the house of Israel, or you're a Gentile grafted into the house under the blood of Yahushua HaMashiach. I welcome you this morning. Gotta take some sips of coffee here because we got to get started this morning. This is BYOT. BYOT. And if you don't think that this eclipse is serious, I usually don't show my face, family, while I'm live streaming. But it's deadly serious. I'm looking like Zorg from Superman. It's that deadly serious. I had to show you the tinfoil because we don't know what type of radio waves, what type of X-rays, gamma rays. You don't know if people are going to turn into Incredible Hawks or reptiles or both. Oh. It's getting real out here, family, and they have a countdown. Two hours, or it's at around 2 p.m., 1 p.m., 2 Eastern, 1 Central Standard Time. You can hear me tapping on my tinfoil because it's serious, family. I had to go through, get that Reynolds wrap real quick. You know, our people just be going to extremes. I would have tried to make a little tinfoil mask with just the eye slits and a cutout for the nose and mouth so I could breathe. Oh my goodness. Before I go and get started, and I want to show everyone the goal that we have been working towards at Quest 2 Night Africa. Thank you all for your support. This is for the Burkina Faso trip, and I'll talk about that because of what we're trying to do. Thank you for meeting the goal. But family, it doesn't stop there. That's just the goal, but it doesn't stop there. What you give makes the trip a success. It truly does. That's just to get me there. So I appreciate the efforts. I appreciate everyone giving and meeting the call. So we're about $100 away from the goal. This was put on out last week on April 1st. This is awesome. Hallelujah. And this is to go to Burkina Faso to meet with high level officials, high level government officials. This is in conjunction with ADDI at the request of Her Excellency Dr. Erikana Shimbori Kwao. And let me tell you, family, they're going out there to conduct business, not to play games. And there's a need at Quest 2 Night Africa. We have Mike setting up everything in Tanzania so we can present the business plan. I want to present that later on this week. Just having a discussion with Mike. He's finalizing some things in the office. But we should be up and going and actually in operations. On top of that, there are other ventures going on in Rwanda that we are following up on with the Region 6 Council for Diaspora Affairs. So you may see my face wearing this, the tinfoil hat. But let me tell you, family, what we're doing is dead serious. And what we're doing has consequences, positive ones, that will be seen and experienced among generations to come. We're laying the foundation. That's just how it goes. We're coming out of captivity. Not everybody that came out of captivity got a chance to go to the promised land. I don't know if I'm going to go to the promised land. I don't know what that's going to look like. But what I do know is let's continue to work with our brothers and sisters on the continent. Because honestly, to me, what the Gentiles are doing, they're experiencing the greatest distractions ever. Shout out to Teo and Yakoba. Teo Ministries yesterday. I watched that thing twice. I watched that thing twice. Are we gonna see reptilians? I don't know. But if they tried to blast me with the laser gun, my tinfoil covering should be a grounding apparatus. Has not been tested on anything. I'm just speculating. I got the link on out there. Y'all can come on in. Join me anytime. Because as we know it, I mean, we only got less than 7 hours to the end of the world anyway. You know what I'm saying? So come on out here, make your final confessions. What would you like to confess, my Hebrew? I'd like to confess to the congregation that I lied to my wife when I ate the last slice of chocolate cake that she had for her birthday. And that was 18 years ago. I'm sorry I lied. Oh. I joke, but you know, these folks are on some serious Rapture Watch right now. They're like adjusting mirrors and picture frames. All right, so when I leave this earthly house and I'm in my heavenly mansion, I gotta make sure I'm remembering it, everything that I can, so the angels can go ahead and build my heavenly mansion. I got a few items to get at the heavenly pottery barn, crate and barrel items I gotta get. Gotta make this mansion, you know, to die for. I mean, to live for. These folks really do think they're gonna be out here in a ball of light. So my Gentiles on out there, please donate at quest2nightafrica.org. And that is quest2nightafrica.org. Put your money where your faith is. I mean, because where else are you going to donate to? I mean, the church is going to get raptured. So, just saying. And no, when you all are still here tomorrow, don't be coming back talk about I need my donation back. Shalom overflow.
Good morning.
Welcome to the tinfoil edition. You got your tinfoil on?
Nah, brother Karen, I didn't get there yet, but I'm about to fix me up something. Blessings, shalom, shalom.
Oh, so you're up in New York.
Yes, sir.
How far away? No, it hits what, Niagara Falls, right? So you're kind of in a little bit of a viewing distance, but it's going to get what? It's going to be cloudy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's supposed to be cloudy, I think, today. As far as let me check.
I done lost you, Brooklyn Brew. Then I had an earthquake up in New York. Shout out to Sister E. Sister E was live streaming on Friday. Shout out to Brother Garth. Brother Garth didn't know what was happening. He said he got out. He said he got out the shower and was trying to figure out, why things were shaking.
Yeah,
How did you fare in the earthquake?
Woke up.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just saying I was in the bed. That's why I got woke up by the earthquake.
Well, what did you think it was when your bed started shaking?
I'll be honest, man. I kind of thought it was some type of poltergeist or something. I was ready to pray, bro.
You thought that rapture was coming, huh?
Yeah, I thought the rapture had came.
Were you shouting out, "Father, I'm ready, receive me into you"?
And looking for my woman boy all at the same time.
Oh my goodness. They had those people shook.
Yeah.
They had
Especially with everybody on YouTube talking about, this gonna happen, that's gonna happen. So yeah.
I mean, to be honest, I always look at it like this. Even in history, even with what happened to our people, we were discussing this last week. July of 1619, there was an eclipse in West Africa. August of 2019, our people are arriving on the shores of Virginia, later to become the United States. I always look at these things. Look, you're going to see the signs in the heaven, because to me, I think that that's when we're in a different season, right? It's now things are going to move, and they're going to move on your doorstep because you had an opportunity to kind of ignore things, but now it's going to be in your face that you can't ignore it.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, oh man. Now they said that in these next couple of days, they said expect aftershocks.
Yeah, I felt an aftershock after the initial first earthquake. I felt an aftershock after that one.
See,
one kind of, it wasn't as strong, but it was noticeable to me anyway.
Well, I'm just saying. I guess folks in New York should seriously consider moving down south. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm gonna be heading down your way, brother Karras. I'm gonna be heading to South Carolina soon.
I'm not in South Carolina. I'm in Tampa.
Yeah, I mean you're in Florida, but I'm saying I'm heading down your way, not as far down.
Oh yeah, that's not as far down. Yeah, I'm about driving. How many hours am I? I like 6 hours. Yeah, 6 hour drive.
Yeah,
Tampa to South Carolina. Yeah. Wait, you trying to be right there in Charleston? He said I need to be right at the port.
Yeah, I ain't far. I'm 76 miles away from the port. So yeah, when I get that call, I'm gone. Then or before.
Because you know what? Here's the thing. I think, to be honest, with that earthquake, it's more or less our people that are actually paying attention to that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, for them, it's, oh, well, that happened, but earthquakes happen all the time. And it's like, you have to understand, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they don't really put a lot of things into context. Everybody thinks, especially, and I'm gonna see you back. So, it's, oh yeah, I'm getting some feedback from you, Brooklyn Brew. I'm sorry. Oh, okay. Oh, you're better now. Oh no, I'm still getting feedback.
Let me try this.
While Brooklyn Brew's having that, I think that's probably another aftershock. Pray for our people in the Northeast. Pray for our brothers and sisters, our family members in the Northeast. I have family members on Long Island and Newark, Camden, Philly. Yeah, you know, and I think a lot of people don't understand those buildings, especially in the Northeast. Depending on where you're at, it's a lot of brick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of brick.
Yeah, Brother Clarence, I be thinking about that all the time. I'm like, man, I don't want to get caught on the rubble if this thing collapses.
That's what I'm saying. Because where do they put that support beam? Man, they lay that right there on the brick.
Yep.
They lay that right there on the brick.
When that goes, everything's going.
Everything's gone. Everything's sliding at that 45-degree angle. It's all gone.
Yeah.
And then you just gonna be sitting under there just trying to help. Help, Father! I don't want to go like this. Yeah, man, I'm sorry. That is like when I see them earthquakes and everything else.
That's the worst way to go, bro.
Isn't it?
Oh, man. Just pull the trigger already.
Because then you're gonna be waking up, leg all broken up,
hungry, thirsty. Oh.
You know something's broke, something's bleeding. You can't even get to it. You just help me, help.
And in New York, we're gonna have rats crawling in between the bricks.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Yeah, man, I can't.
Because then you're gonna get eaten up by the rats.
That's the problem. Why you alive?
Why you alive?
It already hurting and broke up. Oh. Yeah, that's a lot, brother. That's a lot. Yeah, this my last month, man. This is my last month right here. I'm packing up. I'm sorry.
I don't want to give people that visual.
I'm packing up, bro.
but y'all gotta get that visual. When you hear that squeak, I mean, squeaking and everything. Yeah.
Or either being in the subway and that stuff fall on you.
Oh man.
Now you're a couple tons of bricks and whatever on top of you, and you're underground, and you definitely gonna see rats down there. There's no mice.
Yeah.
It's Ben and the crew.
You going the sad thing is you ain't gonna die by the suffocation.
No.
You're gonna die when them rats eat you alive.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Carolina is looking real good right now.
He's just like when's that cruise schedule coming? Do we have a schedule from the continent yet? When them shits are about to arrive?
Yeah, man, brother Cat, I'm doing everything in my power to wrap up everything that I can so I can get out of here. It's like some things went faster than others, and it's like certain things, man. It's like I like it just got caught in cement, so. It's like the Lord's opening doors for me to start back getting able to liquidate this stuff. And once I liquidate this stuff, I'm gone.
No, I hear you. It's all in the Most High's timing. It
exactly.
Really is.
It really is. Nothing you can do, brother Cat. Cause I tried. As far as me, I would have been out of here 6 months ago. But it's like everything got locked in quicksand. So all like I threw away my money stupidly. Well, I invested in selfish things instead of being about the kingdom. And if I'd have been about the kingdom, I would have been ready to go a long time ago. But when you're not about God's work, you have to suffer and learn. So this here, I'm
Mm-hmm.
using this as a see. If you would have been listening to Yah, you'd be straight. So I'm trying to make sure I don't have no more C moments. I'm trying to make sure everything I'm doing what Yah has already told me to do in His Word. Listening to you guys, Teo, I'm just trying to absorb. I'm trying to be a sponge, and I'm trying to be a doer of the Word.
Hallelujah. Let me tell you, because you're spot on, Brooklyn Brew. You know, I'm that type of I am that type. I'm like, Father, I gotta do. And you want to know what? The funny thing is, what the Most High's been doing, He's just been sitting me down. Nah, sit down. He tells me to sit down, and that hurts because you got to remember, as a people, we always try our best to position ourselves. Right? I need to
Yep.
look for this opportunity here. I need to get this opportunity there. I need to not have myself end up. Look, we have contingency plans.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? We do. And with the work that was going on with Quest Night Africa, there was actually a build-up process that was happening. And it was awesome to see that build-up process. I'm kind of looking at it like, we're not really doing much. How can we show people what we're doing and this and that? And the Most High is like, I got this. And now it's awesome to witness that at the next month, I'm going to Burkina Faso.
Yeah, that's a blessing, man. That is
You
a
know what I'm saying?
big, big blessing.
Next month, the Most High put me in the position to talk to these leaders on behalf of our people.
That is a big blessing, bro. I mean, that came out of nowhere too. I mean, I'm just
It
like,
did.
wow.
Hmm. Oh, it did.
Wow. Man,
And
I
so,
wish I
go
could
ahead.
go, but I'm praying, man. You gotta make that, bro.
Oh, yeah, because I don't think a lot of folks truly realize the opportunities that are on out there. It's not just you have folks from Burkina Faso. You're going to have folks from the continent there.
Yeah.
You're going to have folks, I guarantee you, from other West African nations and some other nations. I wouldn't be surprised because you're talking about the African diaspora.
Yeah.
You don't think that these folks from these other nations are going to come through and try to crash and be like, hey, I got this opportunity here. Of course they're going to.
Man, brother Kaz, man, we go back home, it's a wrap.
Oh, they know.
It's a
Oh,
wrap. Because all
yes.
this thievery and like the slick talk and their policies and all these like one thing, I'm sorry, I hope I didn't cut you off. But it's like I never understood how in the world, Africa has the most arable land in the world, and they're begging for grain.
And that's the problem. Herein lies the problem because those crops, that grain, their agriculture does not stay in the continent.
And that is crazy. And really, they control the chocolate, but they're not making no money, no money, no money. It's almost like I got a better chance being American buying their cocoa raw at
Yeah.
bulk, and I'll make more money than them. And they spend all the months growing it, cultivating it, and
Mhm.
harvesting it.
Yeah.
And that's crazy.
Yeah. There's a reason why they said, look, we got to go back and recolonize Africa. That came out of their mouths. I'm not
Yeah.
making this up. That came out of their mouths. We got to reinvade Africa. We got to resubdue Africa. Wow.
But you know what's crazy, brother Carries? It's like the
Mm-hmm.
United States has this like this, I don't know, like this allure, like they're so good with money, but they're terrible at managing money and resources. They're terrible.
They don't
They
do it.
just they just use up what they get, then they'll find another country when they're in trouble, take some more. Okay, we're good again. And then when they run into troubles again, they just find another. They just go from country to country, just taking what they want. So they really don't know anything about economics and how to make money work and how to make money grow. All they know is just take it.
Well, if and that brings up a good point, because what a lot of people don't realize, that slavery, us being enslaved here, we were a conquered people that created really the world's wealthiest economy really in existence, and
Yes.
known to man in history.
Yes. Yes.
Because why? Because that was a worldwide basis, more worldwide than what you had in the Egyptian and Babylonian and Roman empires.
Mm.
That cotton was going out worldwide. That tobacco went out worldwide.
Sugar
And
cane
sugar,
worldwide.
exactly. All those goods and all those commodities, they were going to other places.
And then the sugar cane, they doubled up on that because used to make rum out of the sugar cane.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we made
So,
them a lot of money, bro.
exactly. So then when you couldn't make, so then when they weren't, as profitable, because why? You didn't have to manage anything.
Nope. We
People don't,
managed ourselves. We we
yeah.
we we mended our own cuts and bruises.
Well, not only that, but people don't realize we were the ones that were doing the books. We were ones that were literally doing the operations. We were the operation supervisors.
That's right. That's
And
what was this guy on Django? Every plantation had a Steven.
there was. I mean, it's the truth.
It is. It's
Yeah.
sad, but like they didn't have to do nothing but just. I was listening. I think one or two episodes ago. You was talking about how they would like be drunk and everything, and we'd clean them up and just get them ready. Like they didn't have to do anything. They just like that was like the
That
bliss
was
of their
on
lives.
that was on Gates of Holder. And Gates of Holder, she proved that like a couple of weeks ago. It was actually last week. She proved it. And it wasn't that she proved it, it was the fact that it was written down by British
Hmm.
folks. So now these are white people on the other side of
Testifying,
the pond. Exactly. And they testified against
testifying on themselves.
on themselves. Yeah. Yeah, they testified on them.
Yeah, I love these old books, man. Anything 1500 and older is like it's a very good year.
Yeah. Well, that
Just
was
pick up
actually
a book.
that was literally in the 1850s, right before the Civil War. That
Mm.
was literally right before the Civil. They were telling people how this thing was. If it wasn't for us, and it wasn't just that, it was also that the preservation of wealth came through our people also after the Civil War.
Mm.
So when you had the Red Summer and everything else, the land repo. That's really what
Mm.
it was. It was a
Yeah.
land repo.
And
Hey,
they've done that generations at that.
generationally, exactly.
Generationally, they'll come and take. Yep. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I had to point that out, man.
Yeah. No,
Like every so many,
go
like
ahead.
basically, it's like what every 25 years they do like the same wave.
It's actually about every 50 years they do
Okay,
that.
50.
Because why? Because they have to liquidate. Because you got to remember,
Mm-hmm.
America's banking and economy is in constant free fall.
Mm-hmm.
Constant free fall. That's why they have to print, 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 and print. This is really like their last print cycle,
Mm-hmm.
because they have BRICS to contend with: Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. So they have a global South contingency. And on top of BRICS, you have UAE, you have Iran, you have Ethiopia, you have Saudi Arabia, and I believe Egypt, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. There's a lot. That's a lot. That is your global South. That's your Red Sea. That's your Arabian Sea. That's your Indian Ocean. That's your Persian Gulf or Arabian Gulf, whatever you want to call it. Those are your major thoroughfares. That's the Cape of Good Hope in South Africa, South Atlantic. So
I think,
every waterway is literally controlled, and Europe doesn't have any other way around it except for going through BRICS.
Therein lies the problem.
So now, look, we see this eclipse getting ready to happen. We see what this thing is getting ready to portend or bring. I don't think things are going to start, flaming out of the eclipse and things start shooting out of there. I'm not thinking that that's going to be the case. Because, look, we know how the Most High does things. He does things in order. He does things in order. Now, when we are seeing things occurring, you got to remember, they're not going to be able to see the trap that's been laid for them. We see the trap. We understand the trap. But for them, they really can't see that trap. It's a hard thing for them to process that. Now, will we see something late April, early May? I'm not sure. Will we see something this summer? This summer, probably. I would say more than likely, definitely. If 90% confidence. Because you also had going on, I'm just going to put this article in the chat. You have that Eastern Mediterranean nation that had been at war with Hamas. And now that Eastern Mediterranean nation is saying that their campaign has been disastrous. This is now what they're admitting. Why is that? Because they didn't think that they were going to get the support, honestly, coming from out of the United States and Europe. And to be quite honest, they actually had more of a backlash than what they anticipated. So, what can you say? On top of that, you've had more people questioning the authenticity of their claims of being the people, and they want more evidence than just feelings. They put way too much attention on themselves, and now they're feeling it. And now they want to come after us because we're like, hey, y'all dug that ditch yourselves, claiming all the anti, and then folks started to look up court cases. They started to do some research. They started to go over to Europe and find out the genetic relationships.
Yeah, a bunch of turkeys.
And now the problem is something way outside of their control. And yes, Ninja Firewolf, and Ramadan is getting ready to end. I told you, Ramadan is getting ready to end. They're gonna have their al-Fitr dinners, their iftars. They're gonna celebrate that for a couple of days. They're gonna get more water and food in them to reconstitute themselves. And then it's going to be on and popping. That's why they're trying to say, hey, hold up, time out. See, the war is over, everything is good, when they done popped off 7 generals. When they done hit an embassy, a consulate. That to me was the worst case scenario. I'm like, and they stepped in it. Was nobody there to literally advise them to say, that is not a good, that's not a good look? Who is their military advisor attache? That's what I would be saying. You need to be briefing, the joint chiefs, because you didn't do your job. You needed to let us know. We could have at least interdicted the rockets.
Yeah, that wasn't a good move.
That was not a good move.
No, it wasn't.
That was such not a good move that is now an international war crime.
It's like the West is like they're backpedaling on them. That's how bad of a bad idea that was.
Oh, they're backpedaling like crazy. I never would have thought that the U.S. would be cooling their heels like,
Me either.
we're falling back.
I thought they had this thing planned out. It's like they just jumped out there without no plan. It's just dun, 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 I'm such and such, and I'm gonna do X, Y, Z.
Man, you already knew what the plan was. The plan was I'm going in hot and heavy, and then I'm waiting on the U.S. to back me up.
That wasn't a good plan at all.
And now they can't believe what's happening in front of their eyes, because why? Because these folks have been given carte blanche to just do anything they want.
And
they stepped in their own trap. They did. They stepped in their own trap. And you can't make this up.
Nope. Hollering anti all the way.
Yep. Anti-bells, anti all the way.
Oh, what fun it is to ride in the anti.
And the anti-open sleigh. There you go.
That's it.
What can you do? Hey. And do you know who they're going to be coming to try to help bail them out?
Us.
Bingo.
And they stay doing these African spoofs with stuff hanging out their nose, and they got black shoe polish, and they're supposed to be us, but they're hollering anti, and they want our support all at the same time. Wow. Ah, boy, I tell you.
Yeah, this is something. This is something. So, I look at this as, to me, how much longer does this place really have left? Because they're not getting the amount of trade that they are used to coming from out of the Mediterranean. They're not able to really go through the Red Sea like they used to. And now these shipping supply chains, everything's running late. And so now that everything is affected with Babylon's logistics. And I say Babylon is in the whole system. I'm talking about European nations and, Western nations, to include Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and the United States. So all these nations are affected. And if you didn't know, Australia and New Zealand are trying to, cool their heels too. Like, we're an Asian Pacific country. Oh, they're pulling out that Asian card real quick. You see us? We're Asian Pacific.
Mm-hmm.
You,
We're
you
not
can't.
down with the West.
Yeah, you can't play both sides.
Mm-mm.
You know, because why? Lukewarm, right? You're either hot or you're cold, or you're gonna get spit on out.
Spewed out.
Yeah, either hot or
Mm-mm-mm.
cold, or you're gonna get spewed out. And now that's what they see happening.
Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, I just see a lot of isolation on their part. It's like they just keep isolating themselves into a bad situation to me.
Yes, and if you've noticed, the isolation is occurring, and it's the African continent that's seeing
Mm-hmm.
everything, and they're literally
Mm-hmm.
turning their back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, France. I wonder how long France gonna be able to run because it's another country that kicked them out. So they,
I think they're going to be gone this year. I think they're going to be gone before the Olympics.
I'm thinking like the
Yeah.
same thing too because
Yeah.
they they're backdooring and getting oil for Russia, Europe.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know how long that's gonna work where y'all buying supplies from the enemy and you fighting the enemy. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean it just seems pretty the whole thing just seems really ridiculous. You
Yeah,
know,
it's
hey, we're gonna sell you oil, but then we're just gonna do this. Nah, nah. But the at the same time, I believe Russia's cutting them off.
hmm
So the only thing that they can do is get oil from Nigeria.
I don't know how long that's gonna last because I think some type of civil something is gonna happen there because
Oh yeah.
it's a lot of money there, it's a lot of resources. You got Legos, people living good. It's almost worse because you got people there that's living in utter poverty,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have people that's living like they got all the amenities of the West right there in their eye view. And
Yeah.
I like living in New York. One of the worst things for me growing up when I was young, and I had the whole city right there at my fingertips, but I didn't have no money to enjoy any other wealth. I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't go on any restaurants, but I'm looking at them all on Fifth Avenue, Third Avenue, First Avenue. And after a while, if you don't ascertain some type of wealth, you're going to do whatever it takes to get that wealth so you can enjoy and be a part of the games. And I think that's what's going to drive Nigeria. I think after a while, people are going to be like, listen, enough is enough. And some things that all the things that the West been getting away with in Nigeria is going to be a no go because they're seeing was it where are you going Burkina Faso.
Burkina
Yeah, but
Faso. Yeah.
they see Mali. They see the other country that they where they got the three of them came together
Yeah,
and working
Niger.
together.
Yeah,
Niger,
Niger.
yeah, it's a wrap. And
Mm-hmm.
people are seeing that, and they have people in Nigeria that have family in Niger.
Yeah.
So it's like you can't lie to them. They know what's going on.
Oh
It's just a
yeah.
matter of time before people start doing something in Nigeria. And then once Nigeria cut off, the last of the last of the last, I think, would be Venezuela with Guyana.
Yeah. And Venezuela to me, that's the Panama Canal choke point.
hmm
So they're
And
strategic.
people not paying attention to that little situation. And I think people need to pay a little more attention to that situation because that's like basically if anything happened with Venezuela, Russia and the rest of the boys, Russia and the band is coming. They
Yeah.
have to. They would
Oh
have
yeah.
to.
Yeah. Absolutely.
With that much
Absolutely.
oil, just like yeah, they're gonna have to do something. If they don't do nothing but aid, Venezuela is giving them weapons and all that type of stuff. But I mean, that right there within itself, it would be a problem for the West because it's like we are like how far can you stretch yourself?
Well, yeah. So going into Guyana, the West will be forced
They
try
gotta
to
go. They
interdict.
gotta
Yeah.
go. If they don't
Hmm.
go, they're finished. We got no oil supply whatsoever. other than the West, and we already know how that's shaking out. So you got to have something.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of our people have realized that
They don't.
The Biden administration went over to Venezuela to try to quote unquote normalize relationships.
Mm-hmm.
They did that a couple years ago. So actually, not a couple years ago. I think they did that last year. And then that's when Venezuela is like, all right, yeah, we see your weakness, so we're about to go up into Guyana.
Mm-hmm. Because that situation is a 150-year-old situation.
Hmm.
So for it just to pop up all of a sudden hot like this, it's got to be a reason.
Oh yeah, yeah. We're under. We can see, all these cracks and
Mm-hmm.
fissures, and it's not just
Mm-hmm.
in South America. It's also in the heart of Europe with Kosovo and Serbia getting ready to go at it. There's a lot of things going on. I,
Mm-hmm.
Central Asia to me is, you kind of lost the Middle East, and the only one that's there really on their lonesome is Pakistan. Because with China and India, they have good relations. Don't let anybody tell you different. They're in bricks. They're in bricks. The only one that's on out there while they're on their lonesome is Pakistan. And Pakistan's so fair weather. They're just trying to get, the hypocrisy is really going to mess up a lot of people. Hey, you want to try and be double minded? You want to try and play both sides? Well, you could either die with the dollar or you can come on over to BRICS. These are the choices right now. These are literally their choices. They already said that they're going to replace the dollar. They're going to do de-dollarization. I believe that de-dollarization process, when you had the political arm, the information arm, right? You had the diplomatic arm, and now you're about to have the military arm. Because why? Because then when that dollar cuts off, the world doesn't need the dollar. It really does not.
No.
So now, as that's going to get cut off, folks are going to get more value with bricks. Oh, I can actually get this. I can get that. You want to know who that's really going to benefit in the long run? It's actually going to benefit Africa.
Yep. Because that's really going to make their money. It's going to force them, which is going to be a good thing. Force and allow, because some of this stuff has been stopped by the West, but it will cause them to trade with one another.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore, when you're trading within one another, your money and your resources, everything around is going to be worth more.
Exactly. So I don't know about you, but I'm not looking forward to the day where things are going to be costing, 55 times more than what it is. And to be
Yeah.
quite honest, that day may be coming sooner than later. Because I mean, gold is already almost $2,400 an ounce.
An ounce. An ounce.
Come on now, $2,400 an ounce, and it's gonna get even worse.
I might have to leave out America looking like Mr. T, man.
I mean, that's crazy. That's
That
crazy. If that's
23 an ounce, I'm about to get every gold chain going.
so, you have it's almost $2,400, and it's still rising because we see that there's a lot of instability that's getting ready. And to be honest, it could pop off at any minute, at any
Any
time.
minute. Yep.
When people are talking about, oh, Russia in the summer offensive, to me, I look at that as, well, Russia's getting ready to, not just with the Russians. And I think a lot of people truly don't understand or appreciate the Central Asian nations. Those former, Mongols or Mongolian nations, the horde nations, the steppe nations. I'm not saying that as, being joking or facetious or belittling, but those are steppes. Those are the steppe nations. And in those steppes, guess what? You can get into Western Russia very, very quickly. You could get into Western Russia through trains, through planes, through other convoys, and then they're running through.
Mm.
Genghis Khan 2.0.
Mm.
And what are you gonna do? How are you gonna come back at Central Asia? Hey, stop! Don't help them. Well, if you don't help them, we're gonna utilize what? I already look at it like this: all the air bases in the Middle East, they'll give them here. No, here's your flight patterns, and if you don't, we don't grant you flight. We don't grant you takeoff privileges.
Mm.
I don't think a lot of our people understand our bases are shared with the host nations.
Mm.
And when you have to take off, or if you have to do something, that has to be cleared. That airspace has to be cleared.
Mm.
So imagine if you don't have the airspace. So a lot of our people, look, Afghanistan was really disastrous because why? Because their airspace was closing up. Their airspace was closing up, and they literally were trying to make the deals with the Taliban so they didn't get any type of surface to air missiles taking down any planes. You only have this window to leave. That's what they're telling them. You leave now. That's why that whole scene was chaotic. And they last week um they just published a paper out of the Pentagon, an initial report, but the full report's going to be like sometime in late August, early fall, right in time for election season. So there's just more fuel on the fire. But yeah, there was no plan. That was literally a run for your life event, a run for your life campaign.
And that looked it terrible, it looked it real bad.
Mm-hmm.
People just falling off the sides of planes, and that looked it terrible.
Yeah, it was just a retreat. So look, when you do the retreat, you know, you don't have to you don't have to fire at anybody. That's what they're telling their forces. That's what the Taliban was telling their forces. Look, let them leave, and then you go from there. It was really all the folks that had been promised, jobs or a future in the United States, for working with the U.S., and they couldn't make the plane.
Yeah.
That's why they're running for their lives. Look, they were the collaborators.
I just think, like, by them leaving them like that, it's like, how can you proxy anymore? Because nobody can believe you.
That's been now the problem. That's now the problem. They look, if they have a trust issue with us,
Hmm.
what do you think is happening with these other nations?
Exactly. That's how
Yeah.
I'm just looking at everything. I just don't see how we have long, man. I really don't. 'Cause it's like every type of outlet, and it's like they seem like they're getting more and more isolated and less resources.
Well, they're getting more and more isolated, and they're bringing in immigration. Immigration's out of control. They want it to be out of control because why? They need to bring in their next, really class of servant class.
Hmm.
That's how the systems worked. We've always had a servant class type of reshuffle.
Hmm.
They had that right at the beginning of the Civil War. You had a lot of folks coming from Ireland and
Yeah.
that potato famine.
Hmm.
You had that after the Civil War with a lot of folks coming from China to help expand railroads and things of that nature. Now, don't get it twisted. We were on those railroads too.
Yeah.
Our people was on their land track too. Don't get it twisted. But they bring in other classes, right? It's a buffer class to a buffer class to a buffer class.
Yeah, I think we definitely were on those tracks. I think we were in the South, and Chinese was more on the West Coast, like
Mm-hmm.
Oregon, California type area.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we met somewhere in the middle.
Yeah. How do you think those chain gangs were?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Laying the
Mm-hmm.
railroad.
Mm-hmm.
And now you have another, type of situation because that was with the Chinese, and you had the, you know, Eastern European nations, back in the early 19th century or late 19th century, early 20th century. And then from there, you had a lot of the Germans and other Europeans coming over from after World War II. And then you had um, a lot of Asian nations coming over in the 70s
Yeah.
and 80s. And then you had African nations coming on over in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. So these classes are there as a way to kind of, levy groups against us.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you need to be more inclusive. Well, that's fine, but they're not practicing that policy when, they're getting different, subsidies for coming on over. Not to say that, look, that's between, you and them, but we're owed something.
Yeah.
And that's what they get mad about. And now you just had the UN a couple of, or actually last week, reiterate, hey, black folks are owed reparations. Black folks are owed, a payment. There has to be a payment scheme. So now you understand what it is that they're doing is that they're setting the basis of the groundwork for, hey, the moral standard, right? There's always a moral standard whenever you go to war. Hey, we were duped. You get what I'm telling you? Look,
Mm-hmm.
when I look at everything transpiring in Russia, in Ukraine, in Europe, hey, we were the bitterest of enemies. And now all of a sudden, look, we're not going to fight that battle. The US is not going to fight that battle. Because what is that going to look like if you have folks coming on over saying, hey, we need you to join the military, we need you to join the army, don't you love these recruiting commercials? And our people are saying, we'll fight, but you have to pay.
Mm-hmm.
We'll fight, but you owe reparations. Now there's actually a demand. And the
Mm-hmm.
great thing is that this is the very first time that our people have kind of come together on code, and it's like, all right, well, we're not just going to do the, hey, don't you want to help and do this? And we're like, hey, you see these folks coming across the border, they're getting all sorts of subsidies, and they're literally just coming over illegally.
Mm-hmm.
That now is the ultimate slap in the face. And honestly, I'm glad that our people are seeing it.
Yeah.
And it had to come to that point for our people to truly understand you're getting slapped in the face.
Yeah. And they're making it evident. I mean,
I lost Brooklyn Brew. Well, I have the link posted in the chat if y'all want to come and join. I know folks didn't even go into work today because y'all are like me. Let me show my face. Y'all want to see my face? It's bring your own tinfoil. Bring your own tinfoil. Brother Karras is coming to you live in Covenant Awakenings here in Florida. I may be a couple hundred miles from the path of the eclipse, the path of totality. Well, let me tell you this. Let me tell you. I got my tinfoil hat on because it's going to be crazy. There's going to be mutants and aliens and spaceships. I'm keeping out the gamma rays, the radio waves. Oh, man. Y'all thought I was lying. Look, it's bring your own tinfoil. Sister Chantel, before you get on here, did you bring your own tinfoil today?
I left it in the cupboard, but I saw yours and I was like, ooh, I was thinking of getting mine and just maybe I could just wrap my whole house with it. Oh my goodness. Shalom to everybody. I'm sorry for all those that I didn't greet in the chat, but I'd always try to greet everybody individually, but I saw that tinfoil and I was like, I have to come on here.
Oh, don't you know that there's conspiracies afoot. There's reptiles on planes.
Oh my goodness. I've been watching I've forgotten the name of that brother that does his creepy TikToks. Dre OG, I think. Man, people are like, okay, there's some stuff out there that's you know, I get it. And there's some things that it's like, like I don't know, man. Just some things that are a little bit. I keep my mind open for everything. Well, not to everything, but I keep an open mind. I read the scriptures and I see what happens and I see what it goes in line with the scriptures. But a lot of this stuff, it's like it's really crazy. Some of these things, it's like they're talking about. Oh my gosh, what was I watching? I was watching something that said something about how where that human beings are the spirits or the incarnation, the reincarnation of Martians. It's crazy. But oh my goodness, it's crazy. It's going to get really noisy here. My kids are at home, still on holiday.
Oh yeah. Well, to me, I don't know. I don't. To me, personally speaking, I don't think anything's really gonna happen today. You know, will they? Could they cause like a power outage or something like that? They could. Anything could happen. Yeah, they could. But whatever does happen, I think it's going to be based off of their hand for the most part. I mean, sending rockets into the totality and all this other extracurricular stuff. It's like why? You know? Um I what is it always to me? It's always some sort of like ritual that they want to have. Hey, we made sure that everybody could look, right? Everybody could look and everybody could see. Same thing with Nebuchadnezzar and his statue. All the land, was gazing upon the statue, and if you didn't bow down to it, then you had these consequences. You know, uh, I think they're a little bit more subtle and coy, but I do look like that. What are they planning for? What is this dry run?
Personally, I kind of feel like just because we don't see anything, these people are they rule. They allow numbers to rule them, and
Mm-hmm.
then just in case, just because we don't see it in the natural, you know, I do believe that there's things going on behind the scenes in the spirit realm, and it will take a few days, maybe weeks or months, but probably even less than that, for us to see exactly the full extent. When we start seeing things going crazy, it's not nothing's going to happen today. I don't think anything's going to happen. Yeah, you might have a little mm, light show, non-light show, but as far as something actually happening, I don't think anything's going to happen. It's too obvious. They want to basically, excuse me, they want to make everybody all amped up like, oh my gosh, something's going to happen, so that people, it's kind of like the whole thing with the 2019. Everybody thought we was going to go, and it's like we
Mm-hmm.
never said that. So then what happens? The scoffers came out, and it's like, look at you lot. And, it's so many people start to fall away. It's kind of like a shaking. There's going to be more people that's going to fall away, more people that's going to be, disillusioned, more people that's going to be like, I'm through with this. And it's those that are holding on and saying, well, you were foolish to think that something could have happened. We don't know. Maybe it could have. We don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to understand that they're not going to be that obvious. It's
No.
almost like they're setting everybody up for a great big fall.
Yeah, it's going to be a letdown. Because why? Well, look, nothing happened, and with their attention on out there. To me, I kind of look at it like, what really is a distraction? Are we getting um, set on a new monetary standard? You know what I'm saying? Like, are new laws or other things coming on out that is going to be enacted at this time? Those are that's going to be my contention, right? Is there a new, you know, um, front that's going to be opened up? Will things pop off in other places? Will Venezuela pop off? Will Iran pop off? Will Kosovo and the Baltic areas, will that pop off? That's to me, that's what it looks like. What's happening? What's happening that they want to keep us distracted from? It's not, to me, don't look up. It's, hey, look up so we could do what? So we can, you know, put the handcuffs on you, per se, to put these legal restraints or constraints on you. Hey, you're not allowed to say this anymore, or you're not allowed to say that anymore. Well, that law passed, at that time. Oh, okay.
Mm. And this would be a big one, wouldn't it? Normally, it's usually celebrities and this, that, and the other. Before they pass something, they do something, and it's like you realize, oh, hold on, we can't do that. Since when? Well, you weren't looking, you weren't paying attention. So as a result, one day you happen to do something, say something, and it's like you're in trouble. You don't even know why. It's the same kind of thing. I kind of feel that that's what they're planning on doing,
What do
or
they,
just like, yeah, sorry.
what do they say? Peace, peace, and then what? Sudden destruction, right?
Well,
Peace,
I was
peace,
gonna
and
say
sudden.
that as well.
Mhm. Oh,
It's get everybody comfortable with the fact that
mhm.
nothing happened, and then a few days, weeks, months, whenever. I don't even think whatever, if they're distracting us or to get us in a comfort zone, get us, kind of lull us back to sleep. I don't even think it's going to take like months. It'll probably be days or weeks, or probably weeks. Maybe 2 weeks or something before something happens, and it's like you said, peace and safety. We're saying peace and safety. We're just like, oh, it never happened. People come out to mock all those people that did those TikTok videos. They're gonna see under their comments, so what's happening now? Nothing happened. You got everybody worried and nothing actually happened.
Mhm.
And then all of a sudden, people just get, feel at peace, and something breaks out, you know.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That and that's the whole thing. Look, that's even what the scripture says. That's even what the scripture says. Look, it's all of a sudden.
Mm,
It's all of a sudden. It's not going to be, hey, you got 3, 4, 5 weeks, on all these channels to get prepared to see what's happening in these next, I think now 5 hours. They were doing a countdown for it. Stop. Hey, we need to make sure that all the school districts are closed, that we have a state of emergency. And then it's, well, how come you did all this and did all that, and that is what they're aiming for. Oh, see,
think of it
there's
as
nothing.
like a very late April Fool's Day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, we bought up this April Fools for 1 week, and now, we baked the joke for 1 week.
Mm. They really are horrible, aren't they? They're a horrible lot.
Well, but you have to truly understand this. They don't want this kingdom to be in disarray. They don't want this kingdom to be in disarray, right? So now, if you have a warning, and it's not just a warning from us, it's a warning from other nations. It's, hey, look, tell me why you feel this iconography is wrong. That's a visual warning. It was put face to face. When you're looking at something online, that tablet, that laptop, that phone is to
Mm.
your face.
Mm.
Now, you can either see it and say, well, let me see if there's anything here, or you can flat out reject it.
Mm. I like what Sister Shonda said. The whole Nineveh and Egypt. We've seen so many references to Nineveh, Egypt, Babylon. All of these afflicted us, and it's like I like the fact these people have been doing what they've been doing for so long, to the point they feel comfortable doing it. Just
Yes.
like Nineveh, the nothing happened. Oh, so they look up like, oh, okay, nothing happened. So it's any other day. Let's just continue doing what we're doing, and then
Your mic cut out. Got technical problems, Sister Chantel. But yeah, absolutely. Look, it's complacency.
you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh, sorry.
Complacency. Complacency is the name of the game. Nothing happened. Nothing's going to happen. Just do what you're going to do. Don't worry about anything or anyone else. Don't worry about what's happening over in other parts of the world. Why? Because what happens in the other parts of the world directly affects the United States.
Mm.
And they know that. They know that, listen, trade is going to be affected. Hey, well, we had the Eclipse and we had the ship that took out the bridge in Baltimore, and now everything's affected, and there we go.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. That's all I can say. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. What will be will be. Look, we know how it's going to end. It's just we're just in the filling section, you know. But we know how it's going to end, because it says we've woken up. We said that after, like Teo Ministry says, after 2019, all hell's going to break loose. And they weren't wrong, and we've seen it, you know. And it's just I don't know if how many watched the the video that Benea did with the timeline.
Yeah, it was a good
Just seeing
timeline.
it like that, it was a good timeline. Boy, that's more complicated than Marvel's timeline.
hmm But
I couldn't. Yeah,
but
go on. Sorry.
but those timelines provide the context, right?
Mm,
Because everything that they think is happening is just one-offs and they're not related. Sorry, that's not
yeah.
the case. That's not the case.
Yes.
It never was the case. Look, our ancestors went into captivity, started to come over into the new daughter of Babylon when an eclipse was shown in July of 1619 in West Africa. You know, and then we get transported to Virginia in August of 1619. There's significance with this. We just never understood the significance of what we were seeing. And honestly, to me, this is just my personal opinion. I believe that they'll probably will become more unhinged with things because there's going to be people saying, well, you know, we got to do this, we got to do that, we got to take this country back by force. I mean, did folks not already see the Marjorie Taylor Greene on out there? We got to repent. We got to repent. Repent for what? I don't know. Just repent. And then what happens? Well, repenting is an action. See the buildup? Repenting is an action. What action do we need to do? We got to take our country back. How do we take our country back? We got to do whatever it takes. What's whatever it takes? I mean, you get the logical progression projection right there. We gotta have them logically project so they can put the pieces together with the dog whistle.
You want to take back a country that was never yours in the first place. It's fascinating.
Yeah, Benny Yah will be on, I think, at 1 or 2. So check out his channel, Benny Yah Israel. He's going to be live streaming. I'll be in there listening and being involved in the chat. Look,
how many hours is that from now? Because obviously, you know, the time difference.
It's 4 hours.
Okay. Oh yeah.
We only got 4 hours left. I only got 4 hours.
Until perpetual darkness, like everyone's gonna go crazy.
I need to go to Home Depot and Lowe's and get flashlights. I was procrastinating. Father help me.
Forget the flashlight. Get your candles.
Oh. Okay.
Would it be something if? Okay. Would it be something if Russia tried? They wouldn't, because they're not at that point. They're not at that point. No. But it would be funny. Well, not funny, but you know.
Yeah, they're not going to. They, you know, I think a lot.
They don't want to.
Here's the thing. Why? I mean, I don't know why these. See, there's always a projection, right? We're the bad guys. We're the boogeymen, right? Black folks are going to be the boogeymen for what? Their projection. Black folks are the ones that, you know, let this nation down. We have no power in our hand to do anything. you know, well, you all should have said something. It's you all's fault for voting Trump in. It's you all's fault for voting Biden in. You get what I'm telling? It's like, okay, I'm sorry, time out. We've gone through this. We're just tired. We're tired of being the scapegoat.
They do the same thing over here. They do the same thing in France, in Spain, in Germany. Like wherever we are the bottom, and they always use us as the scapegoat. We are their whipping boy. We are the ones who they keep in reserve for when they mess up. It's like, oh, let's pull out the Negro blame card, and they use us as as the blame token. And it's like, what have we done? What have we done? What power do we have?
Well, they have two hotlines. It's two hotlines that they have. 1-800 blame a black man or 1-800 blame a black woman.
Or a child.
Well, remember, they see our children as grown
Yeah, that's true.
adults.
And there's still a boy at about 25.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, and you know, it's not what we're saying is inaccurate. Actually, what we're saying is very accurate. They know it's accurate, but they're really disillusioned because you know the classical talking points are gone. Brother Asaph, shalom.
Shalom, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Much better.
Oh, that's
Sounds much
fantastic
better.
because I had to move to my phone because I have microphone problems. Yeah, it's getting crazy out there, you know. I visited a theological seminary some time ago, and I was having a chat with one of the professors there, and they were up, you know, this professor was from Africa. And this professor was up in arms about Putin releasing the pictures because they think that it's going to affect their churches.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
More
it's
greed.
crazy because now that they realize that we're the people, they're not adjusting anything at all. They're still hanging on to this doctrine like it is like a dinghy in the middle of the Atlantic. But I think that the black churches haven't got too long to go now because people are seeing through that, and the fact that the evangelical movement came from the United States and Europe,
Mm-hmm.
you know, the antebellum movement, that there isn't much time to go. Secondly, I don't know if you watched our Canadian friend over there about the panic that the eclipse is causing over at your neck of the woods.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Folks are going to be panicking.
I'm
These
sorry,
folks,
but that's funny
yeah.
to me. I
Well,
shouldn't laugh, but I find it funny.
well, it's funny, but at the same time, it is dangerous. It's dangerous. And
But you know,
so,
Karis, it was
yeah.
prophesied that fear was going to come upon them, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and this is just the beginning because they've got fear of what's happening in the heavens and fear of war now,
Mm-hmm.
and we're not part of it. And even in the UK here, they want to recruit our teenage kids, saying that they'll pay for their university, they'll give
Mm-hmm.
them all sorts of benefits from secondary school,
Yeah.
and make them officers, you know, like in America you say lieutenants and captains, and put them through military school and give them all sorts of benefits. But it's only a handful of people that are joining.
Yeah. Because I mean, folks can see what time it is, right? Hey, well, I'm going to take this benefit, but I'm about to go up against Russia, and Russia is literally ripping up Bradleys and Abrams tanks. Yeah, are there newer technologies of the tanks? Yeah, absolutely they are. There are. But the problem is, right, your armament's really still the same.
Oh,
And
definitely.
and a lot of people don't understand that when they're talking about warfare. Look, what they do is they put on, you know, different sensors and things of that nature, but the armament's the same because you have to have that mechanical, you know, um, mechanisms that can keep you where you need to be. If you put on too much armor, then it's going to get slower. And if it gets slower, then you're going to get bogged down in terms of being able to have maneuverability. So, you know, so they're testing that again, like as I've always said, Ukraine is a testing ground. It's a testing battleground. Go ahead, brother Asa.
Yeah, and also troops now have AI support, backup light artillery on the ground from Russia and China. They're more advanced than us. I wouldn't like to be a soldier facing them.
Yeah, so this is actually something that had come out about a couple weeks ago, and I wanted to touch on that. I never really got a chance to. But they are actually using battlefield AI robots to do clearing operations. Before the troops go on in there, they deploy robots, and those robots go on in there, and they basically will clear out the terrain, whether or not
How?
whether so if there's any type of booby traps, landmines,
Okay.
things of that nature. Because why? Because they have cameras on those robots, and those cameras are pretty durable. They're very durable.
Yeah,
So now that
cameras, heat sensors, the whole lot.
hmm so they can see your body signature. They have infrared IR.
Hmm.
It's a big deal, and they're deploying that. That's one of their first things that they're deploying. So they're going on in there, just letting those robots go. And here's the thing: those robots, they're building them pretty cheaply. And
What comes into my mind is when we're gone, and that's what they're left with.
well, remember
We,
they did that to I think it was Micah Johnson, if I'm not mistaken, back in like 2010 or 2011. They used a robot. He was in Dallas.
That sniper.
The sniper. Yep. Yep. They weren't going to take him in alive. Yeah, they went through. They literally just brought in the robot, put the grenade on that robot, and then they detonated it and took him out.
just, every time I hear the atrocities they do, I just think, just keep doing it because everything you've done to us, you will receive double, double. I keep coming back to that portion where it says, double, give them double. What was it? Double, give them double of or double double. And the thing is, it's like I know it's not like double 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 double, but then in a way it kind of is because we know that it's almost like saying that you're going to give them a double portion of what they gave us, but you're going to double that until they're destroyed because we already know what the book of Obadiah says. We know that those that are in their hands are going to be utterly destroyed
So
until
let me make sure I put the caveat on in there. I'm in no way, this platform is in no way condoning the actions of Micah Johnson. We're not in any way condoning that action. However, the way that Micah Johnson was apprehended was problematic, especially that was not done to anyone else in any other communities besides to us. They don't go on in there with the robot just to take folks out.
it was so distant, disconnected, and just what's the word I'm looking for? Like no care, just
It was
hand
it
it to that
was
and just
yeah, it was very inhumane, right? It was very
yeah.
inhumane. Hey, now if they gave some voice commands and things of that nature, I don't know. All I know was, look, you don't have a robot go through and take them on out. That would never happen to their people. I'm just saying that from that from that sensitivity and objectivity, that would never happen to any other group of people
AI
because
will remember that.
because they understand that that would be more of a community outrage and things of that nature. No
Mm.
matter how in the wrong that person was. Now, yeah, Micah Johnson was in the wrong. He was in the wrong. So let's get that clear. He was in the wrong, but the way that he was taken out, they could have done better. And they've proven time and time again with these folks that have done those mass type of shootings, especially in the white community, they do get a pass to where they will be given the opportunity to be detained
and get burgers.
and potentially go to Burger King. I was going to say that. And potentially go to Burger King.
McDonald's wasn't on the way, otherwise he would have got a Happy Meal.
Mm-hmm.
It's disgusting, really, when you think about it. It's so disgusting. The lengths they go to try to ensure that their people are comforted, stroked, you know, we're going to be gentle with them. And with us, it's like they don't even have a care in the world. It's so...
Well, now that's on the world stage, you know. So 2 or 3 years ago, I was saying now on this channel, on this platform, I said, look, they're on the world stage. People are seeing the hypocrisy, and they're getting ready to respond. I'm like, they're gonna respond to that hypocrisy. They were responding in all of the diplomatic and political things, because remember, that's what Trump was feeling the heat for. Hey, we got to respond because why? Because we have these other nations on the continent, on the African continent, asking the question, why isn't such and such being held responsible? Oh boy, here comes a big troublemaker. Brother Yakoba.
I
got
from when you said troublemaker, I knew.
I got an extra tinfoil hat for you.
Well, that'll be the tent that I have on my head.
I was wondering what that crumpling noise was.
Yeah, you know, when I walk, they shift.
You just have
Careful,
a hard time.
You might lose some.
Oh my goodness. You're gonna have a hard time keeping them all stacked together. Unless you have string, you know, you gotta have that string looking like Conehead.
Yeah.
Well, you know, you all you need to do is just crunch the top, and that will pretty much secure it.
Good idea.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna be long. I just wanted to come and have a little comment since y'all talking about this stuff. You know, what I find is that a lot of our people, they're just my opinion, they don't listen to what you say. They imagine in their head what you say, right? Mm-hmm. Like a lot of people say, you know, you've been telling people go back to Africa. I ain't never told people once to go back to Africa. I say you will end up going back to Africa. I say you will flee. There's a difference. See, some of our people, I told you, they got issues, right? And then you got the issue of, you know, like with the whole thing of what I was showing is happening on, you know, in the nation. Mm-hmm. What we see happening in the nation is, in my opinion, you know, what we see with the elite is they use a process for multiple things. One is psychological manipulation, right? Mm-hmm. Two, the other is to relocate and move assets. So like if you notice, you have the National Guard in place, you have people ready for a major ecological or some type of emergency event. Mm-hmm. So they got full tank of gas, they have water, they have food, right? So like, let's say if they plan on invading or attacking Russia, the people prepared. Yeah. This is how they move. Now, I'm also of the opinion, based upon things that I see, that we're dealing with spiritual manifestations as well, right? So, you know, people call them reptilians or whatever that is, right? I'm saying they're legion. I'm saying what people seeing on these planes and different things is legion. The demons are manifesting. That's my opinion. But I think a lot of times we simplify stuff, right? A lot of our people are not complex, right? Because my brother and I, as y'all know, we programmers, so we deal with abstract thought. So we see many pieces move at one time and many positions, and we play chess as well. So we see many positions being moved and manipulated, and looking at, hey, what's really going on, right? Because obviously we can prove, because if you notice, you never heard me once talk about the X's and the Tav and all these things. I can't prove none of that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You never heard me talk about all of this stuff dealing, with the Egypt and the Cairo and stuff, because it's all speculation.
Mm-hmm.
But what we can prove is that, hey, something's going on. They're telling us to put gas in our car. They're telling us to do these things. People are seeing things. They've come up with a new concept medically called PMO for people who happen to see people change. Right? So my whole thing is, what we see in the scriptures, we don't know how things manifest. When they walked up on Legion, the dude was super strong.
Mm-hmm.
Now, did his face change? I don't know. We don't know. That's not told, right? But we do know that there was a supernatural manifestation. He broke chains. Now, people wouldn't believe that today. But, my whole thing is this, right? Whether something happens or not, we're supposed to be prepared. We're supposed to be alert. You're supposed to look and say, hey, that don't make sense. Hey, why they pre-positioning FEMA camps, and why they pre-positioning National Guard? Why are they telling us to do this and telling us to do that? These are the type of things we're supposed to do. And that's why I say it on my show. I say, look, I know people going to say, Yacoba said this, Yacoba putting fear in people, Yacoba did this and that, right? I ain't never once told people do nothing. See, that's the difference. That's what
How
they
do you
hear.
put fear in someone, Yacoba?
Huh?
How do you put fear in someone? You can't put fear in somebody. They already have it in them.
Well, that's the point, right? And so, my thing is, I think we need to be more cautious in how we look at the elite and how they move. Because these people, they're playing 3D chess. We're playing one-dimensional chess. And we're telling y'all, no, look, they're playing 3D chess. Well, I'm not Spock. I can't see it. I only see one-dimensional chess. Well, you ain't going to never figure it out then. See, this is the problem with people. And that's why, a lot of times I don't want to say nothing, because people always, every single time, going to take my words and what I say out of context. That's the problem. It's really frustrating, right? It's really frustrating. But, I just had to say that because I don't think we think like they do. We don't analyze like they do. We're one-dimensional people. They're multi-dimensional thinkers.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the problem. And that's why I can't communicate with most of the people out there. Now, me and Chantel, we talk all the time. Chantel gets it. You know what I'm saying? But
I talk all the time is what you mean to say.
Okay. Well, we have conversations. I might comment.
If I allow him, so I talk so much.
But there's very few people that gets it, and that's all I wanted to say,
Yeah, I definitely hear you, brother Yacoba, because it's very convenient that all of these conflicts, quote unquote, are happening all at once. If there is a false flag, then who done it, right? Where did it come from? Well, we now have to go after everything and everybody. We need to strike, but we need to be measured. We need to get folks recruited. We need to get, I look at that as, I see all that. Look, you have a recruiting opportunity because everybody has their eye in the sky and they saw something here or they saw something there. Then we see the same thing with weapons of mass destruction. Something happened and something blew up.
Yeah, and that wasn't a complex psyop either. That was a one-dimensional psyop.
Yeah. But you see what I'm saying? So, think about that. Well, we really weren't able to track the trajectory of the explosion, but we knew that something had flown in and, had did something. And, that gave folks the cover and the opportunity, right? They'll
They
say,
can't even lie straight. That's the thing. It's like you sit and you watch and you're like, what are you talking about? It's ridiculous and it's boring and it's like it's crazy. And you look around and you see it's like the thing that happened 4 years ago, and everybody believing that they had this thing that could make everybody better. And it's like, especially for those of our people in our community, where they've been killing you, and all of a sudden you mean so much to them that they're willing to give you this thing for free.
Yeah.
And they
Like,
want to give you a free hamburger and a free pizza and a free lottery ticket.
Mm-hmm.
exactly. And you didn't even question any of it. Well, most of our people did. There's just the few. A lot of the people that did fall for it, they were in the churches, unfortunately. And we know
some
why.
of these camps too.
Yeah. Well, that's the setup, isn't it?
Yeah.
Their leaders persuaded them to take it, and they can't rationalize
But yeah,
anything
Jacob,
for
you don't put any
themselves
fear
without
in
being
people.
led.
If there's fear, it's because it existed already.
Mm-hmm. Well, we've been programmed to fear. You know, the word says to fear not, but we've been programmed to fear, and they take advantage of, you know, that programming. Right? It's a generational curse. These are the generational curses that we've been falling under. And, you know, it's funny because as we're getting out of these curses, they're now going into those curses because now they're fearful of basically everything, but they don't want to say it. Well, why you have this? Why this mechanism? Why this thought process? You know, why this? Why that? Hey, wouldn't you want to help us, or wouldn't you want to, you know, do this or do that? All these different things that they are trying to, you know, ascertain because they really can't put their finger on it. But it doesn't matter if they put their finger on it. Look, we can show them left and right. This is why you're so fearful. And this is what the world sees. And this is what has been exposed. And you all just want to go through and say, oh, no, nothing to see here. Look, I don't care about the Russian iconography. I don't care when it was first released. If it was released 11 years ago, if it was released 5 years, it doesn't really matter. All I care about now is the context of why it is now such a gravitational pull. And that's because you now have an open conflict with the West, and you literally have these Russian soldiers getting their, you know, their Orthodox supplements, or, you know, sacraments, sacraments and supplements, these Orthodox sacraments and baptisms, you know, and that's where they've even said they're fighting a holy war. So then what justifies them fighting a holy war? Oh, well, do you see these pictures here in our churches?
You know, they did that, but it was the reverse during when during the what's it?
During the
When they went,
Renaissance.
yeah, not the Renaissance. The time when the what was they called, the those knights,
Crusades
night,
as well.
yeah, during the
During the
Crusades.
Crusades.
That's
That's
when
right.
they started
Sorry.
painting. So yeah, it was the beginning of the Renaissance, but that's when they
Like the
started
Inquisition.
painting.
You know what get me is these black Christians that say, you know, hey, you know, they all about color and skin color, and Christ's color doesn't matter. But when he was portrayed as white, they didn't say one single thing. But now we say, no, the truth is that he's black, and even the Russian icons says that he's black. Now we're going to hell because we all on color and not Christ. See, this is the stupid stuff that we got going on with the lack of intellect and reasoning ability, where people all want to try to get along so that we can get along with the white man. Well, hey, the white man's still trying to kill you, but the white man's still lying on you and still ain't tell you that Jesus was black or Yeshua was black. Foolishness.
Yakoba, Elder, what do you think about theology, our black theology professors saying that the releasing of these icons is divisive and it was done at the wrong time? I'd
It
like to hear
is
your thoughts on
divisive.
it.
It is divisive. That's the whole point, right? Yeshua said, I ain't come to bring everybody together. I come to cause division. It is divisive. Stop acting stupid. That's the whole Catholicism, Eurocentric Christianity BS,
Exactly.
right? It's the same old thing. If it has anything that's positive for black folks, right, it's a problem. But when it's positive for white folks, it's all neutral and everybody else. As you could tell, I'm a little frustrated because I'm tired of hearing the same old BS all the time. No level of
Common sense.
sanity, yeah, common sense, sanity. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because it ain't common.
I agree 100%. It's frustrating. We all have them in our family. It's like you show them and it's like, well, what does it matter? But you weren't saying that when you thought it was a white man.
White
You
person.
weren't saying
Yeah,
all of this.
before the war
I
started,
think we
they
got
were
the
for
same
those
family.
folks over there, 100%. You know, all the black apostolic churches, and now they're saying quietly that this is divisive, and some of them are quiet about it, and they're carrying on with the same formulaic system. And our people are so stupid; they keep going back to them. You know, if you're taking a Panadol for a pain and it's not working, you try something else.
But I agree with what Jacoba said. It is supposed to be divisive. Like when Yeshua said he's going to separate the goats from the sheep. There's going to be those on the left side and those on the right side. It's about division. You can't you can't sit with those who are wicked. Light cannot dwell with darkness. It just can't.
And let's think of this for a second. Who's trying to unite everything? It's the devil. He's the one trying to unite the world into a one world global unity, unified interfaith system. But God doesn't. Yeshua doesn't. What does Yeshua say? Come out from among them and what? Be ye separate. But no, we the ones that's in trouble and causing division and hatred because we believe Yeshua is black. We believe we the people. But guess what? The Bible says all this was supposed to happen anyway.
Yeah, and as for those icons, I don't need them. We already knew about those icons how many years ago? So it was nothing new to us. We don't need them. I don't care whether the Europeans said this, that, and the other. What I care about is always what I've cared about and what I've said from day dot. What does the word say? If it don't say anything, if it don't line up with the word, I don't care. I don't care. Whatever the word says, how many of us do you remember, Jacoba? Do you remember that letter I wrote you guys? Well, kind of like a thank you for teaching us, and it was about a meal, and we just, when those of us that came at the beginning, we didn't need all the glitz and the glamour. We just needed the straight hard truth. We needed, like, it was like soup and bread and water, wholesome truth, nourishment. That's what we needed. That's what the scripture was. And that's what it still is. But the more you try to show others and you added to it and you came up with all this other information, all this other data, everything, all this evidence, and it still wasn't good enough. You gave them a banquet of knowledge and they still turned their noses up at it like, I don't want what you. That's what I'm talking about. It's like, it will never be enough. Yahusha could literally stand right in front, literally come, and we know it says that so many people are going to be running to the mountains. Do you not think that some of that is going to be our people as well?
Definitely.
Well, we have about 4 hours and 20 minutes until.
But
decision time.
not to interrupt you, but I'm gonna have to go. I'm still recovering, so I just wanted to come on here for a little bit. So good breaking bread with y'all and sharing with y'all.
Yeah, all right.
Really pray for your speedy recovery, my brother.
Yes, I hope you do well.
Yes, right. Yeah, we're praying for you. Hallelujah.
We're praying for you, Jacoba.
What a time that we are living in. That's why you have to bring your own tinfoil.
And brother Caris, You're a comedian. You know how to really mock those people. You must be Ezekiel's cousin or something like that. Great grandchild.
Elijah.
Yes, that's right.
Well, listen,
Thanks for
I'm just trying
correcting
to
me. I
I'm
had a late night.
brother Asaph, I'm just trying to help him into eternity when they get ready for liftoff in T minus, a couple hours. If they have not donated to Quest Unite Africa, they can do that at questuniteafrica.org. What do you need your life savings for? You're about to ride that heavenly rocket.
I tell you, I would have loved to have seen Sister Ashanda's broadcast last night on CBN and see how that would go down. She was on fire as usual
Yes, she
in
was.
the early hours of the morning. I stayed up and I listened to it, and I tell you, her research was on point. Everything was on point. Just pointing out all the influences that these people have. It's pure occultic knowledge that they're coming from. It's frightening to a believer who's well read and understand their culture. They're in a desperate situation. That's why they're doing this Tower of Babel move by firing up these 3 rockets later on today. Which
3
is on the way
rockets,
to
you say? 3
3.
rockets, you say?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What were we
Yeah.
talking about last week? The 3-body
3.
problem.
Yeah. They're in desperate trouble. But after today, when probably nothing happens, they'll say, oh, well, everything is going back to normal. It was a big nothing burger. And we're going to have a lot of posts on our various pages saying that we're false prophets and we've been proven wrong again. But they only have to give themselves a few days, because things are happening weekly and daily. And then they'll have to start applying some rational reasoning.
Yes, they will.
They'll try and think of another medical made up scientific, non-scientific term to, you notice with them, like I said before, nothing they lie so much. It's like they've got to come up with more
Did you
equations,
see
more.
that guy look at that picture of that guy that looked like a lizard and his ears like Mr. Spock's?
Which one?
Yeah.
The two pictures.
Yes.
Yeah, that was
On the
crazy.
airplane. That was on the airplane.
Yeah.
Somebody captured that.
Yeah.
I saw that. I was, what was that? He looked like a bowl of mess. Do you know what he looked like to me? Maybe because it was late and I was watching it. But he looked like, when you're a kid and you get spaghetti bolognese and you mix it in, you mash it up and you mix it all in. That's what he looked like to me. Or
But
maybe I was seeing something different.
that it's something straight out of Hollywood, isn't it? Man, that was shocking.
Well, what do you think?
And
Like, who do you think Hollywood is dealing with? Did you really think that they pulled all these things out of thin air? They're literally, when you see their aliens, I used to watch, they used to have shows about makeup artists and stuff like that. Where do you think they were getting these ideas from? They were channeling this.
that was like an episode of V.
Yeah.
The 1980s one.
Yep. I know exactly what you're saying. I know exactly what you're saying. Sci-fi meets reality.
I
Oh
love
my
it.
goodness. So then here's the thing. Then they're gonna have to question. They're gonna have to question their reality. Who have they been serving this whole time? This is very interesting. We're really on some uncharted waters. It's uncharted, family. Wow.
Not uncharted. We knew it. We just lost the map. and we're going back out there again. But I think we've always known this.
Mm.
Why? Because why are we so drawn to sci-fi? As a people, we're drawn to we are the ones that literally pay. We're the ones that go to these big box office movies, the sci-fi, the martial arts movie, the action films, all of that. And it's amazing when they combine all of that. Like I don't know, with Lord of the Rings, uh Star Trek, Star Wars, all those shows. We're the ones that literally we're in it. They always like to portray like as if we're not, but we are the ones that watch these things the most. And it's like we are drawn to this. And we need to also understand or ask the questions why, because we know what we're looking at. It's like it resonates with us. And the Most High said that we are his battle axe, because this is what we were fighting, our ancestors was fighting. And it's almost like he's trying to show us, you're going to be fighting these things again at some point. So you need to, our spirit, it resonates. When we're drawn to it, not because of, oh, this is so amazing. It's like a fascination, like, we know, we recognize it, but we can't, we just didn't understand because we didn't have the understanding of who we are, of yeah, go on.
Yeah, I'm touching on that Lord of the Rings thing. That when you look at the ring itself, and it was called the Precious. It's like something that something prophetic. Something taken from a people who are projected as evil, right? And them wanting to get back their stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
But didn't the word say that they would be falling to a strong delusion? To be honest, I don't know if it's interesting when we read the Most High's word, because we truly don't know that word until it's exposed. I mean,
That's right. We're starting to see their pictures in the pages when we read them now.
Imagine that you're walking in the store in like a Walmart or a Target or whatever your stores are there in the UK.
Tesco, love, Tesco.
Or Tesco.
Sainsbury's, bro.
Or Sainsbury's, yeah.
Okay. Or Carrefour for our French folks. And imagine that somebody looks like a reptilian, and then people can see. The funny thing is, like, they just had that on Netflix. It was the Koreans, man. They're trying to really project all this stuff. Let's do it in these Asian countries first, and then we'll project it there. And
Is that series Parasite?
The Parasite, yep.
I need to watch that. I've seen it. I saw the trailer. I was like, ooh.
Yeah, it's been advertised on Netflix.
Mm-hmm. But then you see this thing going on. I mean, what are you gonna do?
Run.
For me, I'm gonna run. Man, what is that on your?
That's me. I'm gone.
you gonna go to? Hey, what is that on your face? My face. I have a beautiful face.
Nah, what are you talking about? I wouldn't even be asking. I'm not talking to you. You're mad. A tentacle might come and wrap itself around me. It might gobble me up.
What is that horn? Oh my!
I'm imagining now, brother Karis and everyone in the chat. Imagine being married to one of those folks and you wake up beside a lizard or a crocodile.
Oh, I didn't think that.
In the morning.
That's they live. That's they live.
I did think that. These people are waking up early just to waking up in the middle of the night to look, to start poking skin and pulling skin and just, you know, just record a whole bunch of cicada frequency and play it in their ear and see what happens. Because there's a lot of people talking about, oh, when the cicadas come, they're gonna literally let off some frequency, and people's skin, if they're skin walkers, they won't be able to hold that resonance anymore because of the frequency of the cicadas, and they're gonna show all this kind of stuff. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm not saying it's not gonna happen. We don't know. Like, the Most High uses the natural. He uses nature to do His will. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll wait and see behind my curtains.
I don't know. I'm just saying maybe it's gonna be like a gradual progression of sorts where not everybody's going to be exposed all at once, but when when that exposure comes, it's going to be very, very ominous. You know what I'm saying? Like, could it take a course of a week or two, and folks aren't showing up to work because they got to call in sick, with some sort of mystery skin disease. They need to use FMLA or some other emergency medical leave.
Some acne cream, it might clear that thing up.
Gareth, those welfare visits that we got to do when you're in the services when someone calls in sick.
Oh yeah,
Imagine
you gotta go to the doctor. You gotta get screened and everything else, and you gotta get a doctor's note. I wonder if they got to get a doctor's note from the doctor that's in the same condition.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! They literally just showed us that.
It's
sorry
they
to
live.
cut you. Not even
for a welfare visit to visit your colleague, or just with a couple of your other officers, and when you look, your mate is talking to you as a lizard. Man, that's going to be shocking.
Let me tell you another series that you need to watch. I watched it.
Here,
it's
go
on Disney.
Go ahead, because I want to.
It's on Disney. It's Percy Jackson. You need to watch that. You need to watch that. It's the series. It's not the film. It's the newer one that came out last year, December. When you watch that, you're gonna be like, oh, okay, because they talk about the veil, and it's only now. Obviously, they're children of the fallen angels, but they put truth. It's never just as straight and simple. They'll talk about the fallen angel, but they're also talking about us at the same time, or normal people who are in tune, who see certain things. The children were seeing. They started to see these creatures. They started to see things, and when they saw them, it's kind of like Constantine. When he saw them, as you're looking, because you can see them, they now can see you. And that's you. Listen, when you watch, either watch the Three Body Problem first, or watch this first. I don't care, but you need to watch Three Body Problem and watch Percy Jackson and the Olympians. You have to watch it. You have to watch it, because there is, my goodness, there's so much in there. So much in there.
So let me ask you this. All right, so here's
yeah, the books of it, but who's got time to read the books these days?
I gotta dive off into ignorance, because if you haven't been on this channel, I will go into some ignorance mode. Sorry, forgive me. The Most High is working on me on that. Hallelujah. But I wonder this. I wonder if there are going to be people that are going to realize that there's something different and not realize it. Like, they'll be shocked themselves.
I thought that. I thought that. I thought that.
We gotta ask that question.
I thought that. And then I was like, am I shocked? No, I'm joking. But no, I thought that as well. What if there's people that don't even know, and then they're shocked? I thought that it's so funny because I thought that this morning.
They're gonna be running into the sewers and everything else. They gotta go on
Leave the world behind. Dive right in.
the ground. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Now also think about this. What happens if you happen to be on an airplane and a good 30% of the flight has some folks on it, and they're looking at one another and they're horrified, and they're looking at themselves, and then they see the people and the people are horrified. Oh my goodness.
So there you go. It's
All,
divisive.
all I can say is, man, I'm gonna be scared looking out the window, just
I'd
making
lock
sure
myself in the toilet.
just to make sure that there are no planes skydiving, or doing nosedives around here.
Make sure you're not in its trajectory as well,
People,
man.
people, people gonna be ripping off armchairs and everything else as weapons. What is this? Now, I'm not gonna lie. That actually would be hilarious if
Well, I
you
was
know.
gonna say, what if you wake up and your kids are that?
Oh my goodness,
Oh
Mm.
man. Oh.
yo, you need to find a new daddy.
How is that possible? Oh.
You need to find a new daddy. I'm sorry,
Daddy, what's wrong? Don't you love me no more?
man. Yo, I
Oh,
woke
get
up.
away from me.
That eclipse came on out, and man, my kids are thing 1 and thing 2. Lord have mercy.
Daddy, love me.
Daddy, pick me up. Not with that one eye. Oh no.
Oh gosh, and what do you do? Like, if you're holding your kid, I'm sorry, I'm gonna
Carlos,
be
you're a
ignorant.
native
I don't care. If you're holding your kid at the time and that face change, you know how we are. You know how we are. We will throw first and ask questions later.
Big facts. Big facts.
We will throw first and ask questions later. Oh, you all right, baby? Are you okay? Look at mommy. Look at mommy. Ah, what are you?
Mm.
I just had to. I'm sorry, son. I just had to call the cops. I had to get a leash. I had to find a cage. I had to put you in the dog cage. I don't know what you is. What is you? Ah, Lord have mercy. Ah.
I thought love was unconditional. No, there's conditions. There are
There's
conditions.
there's conditions. I can love you from afar.
Mm.
Man.
Oh my gosh. Oh, welcome to Monday Madness. But it's true though. Like, see, I told you, we think the same.
Biden will try to adjust his mask.
Yeah, I've seen that thing.
My fellow Americans, there's no need to worry. This is just. Come on now. This is just. Come on. This is just. That's what he'll say. That's what he'll say.
Oh, have mercy. I was gonna say something else, but even I can't take it there.
You'll have the little emergency alerts. This is a national emergency alert. Please stay in your homes until further notice. Oh my goodness.
Hey, you think they'll be saying, "Let's make America great again" still when that happens?
Man, folks are gonna be saying, "Yo, you need to check your skin. We need to have a synthetics test. We need to do a synthetics test." Oh my goodness. Oh, you got to do that V check behind the ear. Man. Yeah, our superpowers is to be able to run away from them. And I don't know how fast we can run away from them. Are they going to be, bipedal? Or are they going to be quadpedal? Are they going to have, hooves as hands? I don't know.
Mm. Boy, all I know is that I don't even know anymore.
Do you,
Oh,
do you go around? Okay, now here's the ultimate test. Do you go around? Do you see them change, and then you just keep shopping like you ain't see nothing happen, and then you
you'll
just
be like,
walk to your car real quick, and then
you do
nothing
that
to
whistle
see, nothing to
and
see,
walk away backwards.
nothing to see. You just leave your car. You just walking. Oh yeah, I'll be right there. Yep. Yeah, I was just doing. Yep, I
Sister
gotta go.
Chantel, I can see
Mm.
some of the older Jamaicans saying, "Me I go kill that big lizard."
Oh my
Man.
goodness. It's oh my goodness. No, and you know mm-mm. That's what
What a big guana!
Oh my goodness.
some
Big
colorful
Mediation.
words. Some colorful words will be coming out of people's mouths.
Mm.
I'm just saying I think the Most High will kind of like make allowances for that day when it happens because yeah, webbed hands and feet, yes. Webbed hands and feet. You was always an excellent swimmer though.
Yeah,
Every Olympic swimming champion is going to be, called out. Nope, we got to see you. All right, Michael Phelps, you the first one on the block. Let's see.
yeah, yeah.
That's right.
Chantel, people will be talking or will be saying all sorts of cloths, and you know what I mean.
Yes, I know. That's why I said
Uh,
some colorful languages will be coming out that day. I dare say it might even venture out of my mouth too.
Have folks with 5 eyeballs.
One of them drops in your soup.
You're macabre.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. There's a
Oh
waiter,
God.
there's an eyeball in my soup.
Everybody, every black person will just drop whatever they're doing, get their family home, and they just gonna book flights. Yo, I'm out of here. Where are we going? Anywhere but here.
Exactly.
Where are we going? Anywhere but here. Look, all I got enough is a plane ticket to go, one way trip to like Algeria or something. Look, I
Yeah, but
don't
you
know
still
where.
got to be careful though, Caris, because lizards, they like the heat. Just saying.
Mm, well, they'll try to follow you on that flight. Mm. Now we're gonna leave you alone. Just leave us alone. We're leaving. We're leaving. We got the hint.
Like, you guys can have America. Keep it. Oh, mercy. No, that would be that's going to be crazy. I think when that happens, if that happens, when it happens, it's more like when it happens, not if. When it happens, the whole thing about I can imagine those people be like, remember, you've got PMO. People be like, nah, I know what I'm seeing. Too many people would be like, there'll be like maybe a handful of people that would be like, yeah, maybe it is PMO. The vast majority of people are like, PMO will go out of the window. Nobody will be caring about that.
Yeah.
People are stupid when it's a majority, when it's things like that. When people are scared and they're seeing things that their brain cannot literally understand, they don't the intellect goes out of the window. They will just literally just call it like they see it, and they'll there's always going to be one person that's going to be brave enough to touch.
Oh, but here's the thing. I would not be surprised. And we know how this thing works. If something does happen, you know that they're just going to cut communications like that. They're
Oh
going
yeah.
to jam signals. They're going to cut internet. And then people are going to want to go outside and figure out what's happening. I don't know. Not me. Not me.
No, no, no,
I'm
no, no.
you know, you got to get that sword, and I made sure I polished my sword with cleaning, pieces, getting things nice and lubricated
Hmm.
on that sword.
Yeah,
That
anything
that
happen, broadcast. I'm heading down south to all my Skittles is at.
Yeah, Rojo's gonna
Yeah,
have his armory. Everybody's gonna try to find Rojo in the armory.
Yeah.
yeah,
Where's Rojo at?
yeah.
I'm friends with Rojo.
Rojo be like, Brother Cass, I saw them lizards. I got my Skittles bar. I got my candy bars, and I had to be Rambo.
Rojo would
Hmm.
be like, I was made for this. I
Yeah.
knew. I knew. He would be
We
like,
Anything
I
is
in
coming.
welcome this.
in the
Hmm.
UK, we've
Yeah.
got to use gardening tools.
Yeah, we do.
Mm.
They took our guns. We don't have them kind of thing.
Well, you better sharpen those gardening tools. Find a
I'm
rock.
telling you, we
Find a
got Skittles over here.
make them shears nice and sharp.
Oh, but we still have them over here anyway. They still have them.
Mm.
Yeah, y'all,
You
y'all
know
gotta
what
do
be
like back in
funny?
the days. Make the little skeet the little guns with the little the little Skittles with the little pin in them. One
I,
shot.
Listen, I'm going straight to the
Make
hood.
them
I'm
out of a
going
hanger.
straight to the hood. Look, I'm going. Look, if I see,
That will
I'm going.
probably
I'm
be
going.
the safest place to
That'll be the
be. I'm telling you.
where are all my people at? I'm going straight to the hood.
I'm going.
No,
Hey,
let's
look, it'll be attack the block.
wood. Yep.
It will literally be attack the block.
Mm.
For
Mm.
those that don't know, that was like the film that what's his face again?
With John Boyega, right?
Yeah, John Boyega.
Mm-hmm. What they call him?
Moses.
Moses.
Hmm.
Mm. Mm. The messaging in these sci-fi movies.
Yeah,
Predictive programming.
that's a good film as well to watch.
Well, I'm just saying, if things happen, family, we're just discussing this. This is your bring your own tinfoil. Everybody was trying. We're just throwing things on out. Look, the rapture,
Hmm.
we'll see. Reptilians, we'll see. Zombies, we'll see. Aliens, we'll see.
Portals.
Yeah, portals, we'll definitely see.
Hmm.
Remember I
Aren't
told you
they
about the
cranking CERN back up?
hmm?
I said, aren't they supposed to crank CERN back up today?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think.
today,
Yeah, I think
Yeah, yeah.
CERN is going. I think
Yeah, I
it's
and
think we're
throw
going
gonna
up.
some
see a
rockets
portal
as
in New
well in
York.
the.
Mm.
But
Mm-mm-mm.
remember I told you about the three rabbits at the end of the three body problem, and you see like when you see that hat, it's so funny because it's like as you look at it, you've got I didn't even realize this, but it's like you've got the three rabbits that are already out of the hat, and then you've got another one that's about to emerge out of the hat. That's kind of like a portal, you
Mm.
know. It's oh my gosh, the amount of stuff they put in there.
Mm. Yeah,
Mm-mm-mm.
this will be an interesting day. I mean, look, I have no expectations for today.
It's gonna go on, just pretty much the same, I think.
Hmm.
Yeah, so we just have to go through and just live. Don't fear. Please fear not. Please fear not. But I'm going to say, if you need to get some things, some supplies, just be prepared for anything, right? And hopefully you don't have to worry about anything. But I would say,
That
yes, be prepared. You have now literally about 4 hours. Pick up some water. Pick up some a little bit of food. You never know. You never know what they're gonna try and do for this, if they do anything for this. But I would kind of say that they'll cook something up or it can be crazy. We never know.
Mhm.
So, what does it say? That, it's filled with every hateful and unclean creature, every hateful bird and unclean creature. That's what Babylon is. We don't know. That's why, look, when I tell you, when Yakoba was showing those videos yesterday, especially with the plane, I don't think that was staged, family.
No, no.
To me, that does not look staged.
You talking about the woman?
I'm talking about the man. There was a white guy, and he was looking at that, and then all the people on the plane were looking.
Did the people on the plane see it though?
I don't know. They're
'Cause-
getting their phones out.
yeah, because it looks like as if they could see it, and that thing looked like as if what? What's going on? Why are you all looking at me?
It's a
'Cause you're
genetic
seeing it.
condition. It's a genetic disorder.
But you didn't look like that when you came on the plane.
A genetic disorder where you look like Mac and me, half the time.
Oh, you see all these women that have got all their whatever makeup is. What's it called? I don't even know, right? They changed
Ain't no, ain't
some of
no,
these
ain't no
brothers.
amount of, ain't no amount of makeup gonna hide them pointy ears. That's what I'm saying. Ain't no. My, what pointy ears you have, Grandma?
Oh, there's going to be a lot of craziness going on and a lot of freaked out people. And it's just going to be, all they're going to hear is, don't worry, it's just PMO. You have a psychological condition. People are going to be like, you calling me
what,
bonkers?
what,
No.
what did the word say? That people are gonna be around, right? They're gonna be groping in the daylight.
Mm.
I mean, this is interesting. To me, this is interesting.
Yeah,
I
Fringe
re-
is crazy. Sorry. It's just Hawkeye.
and now we're in T minus. We're in the window.
What time is it?
Scramble to find the perfect view. I'm gonna put this on out there.
What foolishness are you going to put up?
This will be the last of the stories, but I want to.
Oh, I thought you was going to put a picture up on the screen or something.
Well, it's what is it? It's nothing you could say. It's a total eclipse of the heart, right? Nothing you could do. Total eclipse of the heart.
Okay. Took a while, but I got there.
It's going to go to 15 U.S. states. They're already starting the live stream. I just
Do you
put
know what
this.
black people do? We black people sit down and we watch others watching these things. We're not going out there. You'll get the odd one or two of us that are, they always feel like they're part of the crowd. But the vast majority of us, we'll be like, I'll watch you watch it. And if it's okay, then I might come out. But I'm not going nowhere.
This will be very. I don't know. I'm like, man, you know, I don't know if anything's going to happen. I really don't.
I
But
don't either, but I'm curious as to why they keep trying to push people to go out there.
yeah, look, go on out. So for what? I don't. I mean,
I don't trust them.
man. I mean, to me, that is really the. To me, that's the setup. Go on out there, get set up. Because then what are you going to do when people start going crazy? You're in the midst of people going crazy.
Oh, what if they start changing then?
Yeah.
And you're in the
You're,
midst of all of that, in that darkness. Gobble gobble.
they see me trying to trying to slaughter people. I'm just I don't know. It's crazy. Yeah. So will it be a big nothing burger? I don't know. It may be.
Okay, says something interesting. Or they activate the, you know, the
The
thing.
the lollipops.
Yeah, the lollipops.
Will they activate the serum? Will the serum be activated? That's a great question. That's a great question. They're
I
asking
saw
will cell phones work?
I saw a TikTok video where somebody was showing about how people's. It was from the film Electra. Is it Electra? Yeah, Electra. Was it Electra? Yeah, something like that. Anyway, the really, well, they're all rubbish, but anyway, but the one where their tattoos started coming to life and everything. And I'm like, what if something like that happens, but it's like tentacles on these tattoos? It's like people's tattoos start coming to life because of the thing that they have in their system.
Mm,
I should write a sci-fi.
mm. You could.
Tattoos coming to life. Yeah, that all those nasty creatures that you have tattooed on your back and everything, all those devils and demons that you have on your back, tattooed on your back, and they start coming out of your skin and start trying to claw their way up all over you. And you're like, ah.
I'd always thought that like maybe it marks them. Like maybe that's what people do. Because remember, mainly that's in their culture. You go to Africa, you rarely see people that have tattoos. That tattoo
Mm.
is their culture.
I feel that you're sealing in the demons. I think that's what they do in Japan. That was the whole point of the tattooing. Was it with the yakuza or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yakuza.
you're sealing in, yeah, you're sealing in these different entities on you to give you strength.
Mm. Yeah. Interesting. Interesting. But
Certain
yes,
things will come to life.
yep. Well, with that, family, I'm gonna wrap this on up because I got to get prepared. I pray that I see
I heard
you all
that deep
tomorrow.
breathing.
I pray I see you all tomorrow.
The deep breathing.
Got to go
Certain
underground.
sounds in your house, and like you're like, who's there? Don't ever ask who's there. They show you all in their films that like scary movies and everything. Make that a note of all the things that you're not to do.
Mm-hmm. Mm. This would be definitely interesting. Final comments.
I hope I don't give anybody any nightmares.
I'll go ahead with final comments. I just want to say, it's good to be on with you guys again. God bless y'all. God bless everybody. God bless. Y'all bless Yasharel, and just everybody be safe. And that's it. Just keep it simple.
All
Blessings,
right.
everybody.
All right. Shalom. Thank you, Brooklyn Brew.
Shalom.
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 Uh,
Sorry. Go
I'll
ahead.
go next, and I'll just say it's nice being on. Uh, as usual, jokes all around and everything. But yeah, just be safe. Remember, you will be sane, but not everybody else is going to be sane. A lot of people are going to be crazy, and people do crazy things when they're in the height of their fear. So, you know, for me, if I was you guys, I mean, I'm not over there, so it's not really a thing, but I'd stay inside, just stay away from people. And if you see anybody looking crazy, take some pictures and just post it on, on
If
Facebook.
they they needed to have that. If you see somebody's skin change, do
Yeah,
not
what
be
just like they had
alarmed.
for the
Do not
what's it
be
called?
frightened. Right, for the nuclear drills. If you see a nuke, do not be afraid. Do not be frightened. Please evacuate to your nearest designated. I think you all had that over there in the UK. Did you not have that?
What? When was
In
that?
a
What
couple
the
of
whole phone thing?
a couple of months ago for like the nuclear drills.
Do you
If they
remember when
did,
they sent
nobody
an
cared.
alert on the phone?
Yeah, the
Okay.
telephone thing, I remember that, but nobody
Hmm.
nobody was really bothered. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't mean to be funny, but we're not as hyped as uh, they hype you guys up
Hmm.
extensively. They put you guys in a sense of hyper fearfulness that it's just okay, calm down, stop doing that to the people. That's what they like to trigger you guys. Over here they'll say, well, speaking of which, we're supposed to do this, da, 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 and that's it. Jolly oh. We're very nonchalant about a lot of things. That's why people over here are like, you ask me what's it like over here, I'm like, the same as it was when you last asked. Nobody cares. They
Hmm.
will only start to care when things start dropping on our heads. But the Brits are not like the Americans. You guys, they really hype you up so much to the point where you're in a state of constant agitation. And it's not just we know. I know that they do this to our people over there, but I'm not just talking about. It's not just you guys. It's everyone. They do this with all of you. They hype you up so much, which is why that everybody's always turning on each other, because everybody's looking at each other and they're not looking at the ones that are actually doing this to them. But they like to press your buttons. But
Mm.
that's what we see looking at you guys. And it's not we're not judging you, but we're like, we see what they're doing to you, all of you, putting you in a state of hyper agitation that it's easy for any one of you to just pop off.
Hmm.
That's what it is. So that's why it's like we're like, most of us are like, sure, I don't care. That's how we are. We're very relaxed. Probably a
Mm.
little too relaxed though, to be
Hmm.
honest. But when it comes to it, we'll snap into, we'll do what we need to do. You've seen that. Did you see the what I sent you about the riots? You need to understand that riot took place just before the Olympics, the year before the Olympics, and
Hmm.
that's why everybody was concerned. But when we're ready, we will snap into what we need to snap into. But they're not gonna agitate us like that. They don't do that. I think it's just in America, because they don't do that anywhere else. Everywhere else is pretty chilled, except for in America. You go to the Caribbean, chilled. You find in Africa, you probably want to do things. People are chilled in Africa. They're like, yeah, we'll do this when we're ready. There's no rush. But that's because they've kept you guys in a state of agitation. So yeah, just food for thoughts. Just let you guys know. That's you know.
All right. Thank you, Sister Chantel. I
Okay.
hope I hope to see you tomorrow.
You will. You'll be cool. Shalom, everybody.
All right. Shalom. Thanks. Brother Asaph.
Oh, thanks for having me on. It's been a wonderful show. I'm just waiting to see the panic that's going to happen later on. And I hope that you don't have any werewolves or lizards near where you are. and and nobody will be having mental breakdowns. But for us over here, it'll be another day. But
Mhm.
I'm looking forward to seeing you on tomorrow, Yah willing. And for Zion, stay prayed up, because I don't think we got too long to go.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Yeah, we'll be on tomorrow. This is a good show of banter, right? We're just please don't take anything really too seriously, but just be prepared. You know, that's on both sides of the pond. Be prepared. You know, that's the public service announcement. All right.
For
Yeah,
having
go
me
ahead.
on.
All right. Thank you,
Yeah,
brother.
thank you for having me on. And we'll be watching YouTube to see some of the ignorance.
Oh, it's gonna be crazy. Yeah. Oh yeah. With or without any type of craziness. No, they folks are gonna be losing their minds. That's just how it goes. So all righty. All right. Thank you, brother ASAP. We'll see you here later on in the week. All right, shalom. All right, family. We have a couple of more hours to go, 3.5 hours to go. Looks like there's going to be some folks doing some lives on their platform. Um, I would say please go over, visit Benayah Israel on his live that is happening today at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I saw that. I want to make sure that we shout out our people, you know, because I mean, all we can do is just lift each other up in our community. Whether or not anything's going to happen, I don't know. That's always up to the Most High. But all I'm going to say is be a good cheer. Be a good cheer. Even if something happens, don't worry. The Most High's got you. And you just have to give him praise. But in my humble opinion, I'm not looking at something immediately happening. I believe that something's going to happen, but it's going to happen much later, probably a week or so or a couple weeks later. That's when, you know, I'm going to say not surprised. Because we're truly in a time where we have to be watchmen. We're truly at a time. And it's funny because when people read the word, everybody thinks that, you know, miracles were performed like that, or, you know, things happen just like this. It was instantaneous. No, they were given a sign, and then they were given what? A, a certain amount of days to do what? To be patient and to wait on Yah. So that's what we have to do. Be patient. And so, with that said, I got to get up on out of here and get some things done. Most High willing, I will be back on tomorrow, where we'll discuss the aftermath, the aftermath, if any. Hallelujah. So, with that said, family, shalom, salama, siyemi, shalom, peace and blessings. Yasharel.
Are you tired of fighting with your wife or with your husband? Have you each retreated into your separate corners, not even trying to speak to each other anymore? Are your children witnessing a toxic marriage rather than a purposeful partnership? Hi, I am Shar, and I am an attorney mediator and experienced in helping families for the past 13 years navigate really challenging times. And I am here to help you. Husbands, hear your wives. Wives, hear your husbands. So together we can find the truth why your family is struggling and what it will take to get unstuck from cycles of misunderstanding and patterns of frustration. Join me live on YouTube on this Monday night at 6:00 p.m. Eastern as I conduct a live mediation. And if you would like to be heard, if you would like to hash out a misunderstanding with your spouse here on our live, sign up now to apply for your free opportunity to mediate. And I look forward to seeing you Monday night. Container packed with supplies that need to make their way to families in Africa like yesterday. You said this is a 53-foot trailer? This trailer is packed with medical supplies destined to the motherland. We need to help get these out of here.